I was making a series of paintings about travel anyway, and I've come across a number of artists recently who have poets working with them and have done for a long time. So they're like their minders almost. And I love the idea. Didn't know any poets, but in about 2007, I met up with Leah K. Stewart, who's not with us today, but she was so interested in a project that I was doing with a community in Bedfordshire at the time, which was nothing to do with painting. She took the idea of the community project and then gathered around her people who enjoyed poetry. And it developed from there. We talked about 2019, and I just thought, now's the opportunity. Talk to Leah, see if her group would be interested in looking at the paintings and responding to them, and they did.
Well, Carolyn mentioned to me quite a while back that she was interested in, you know, bringing together writers with her paintings, and from the start it seemed like a really interesting project. And then when we got into it, and I kind of quizzed her and asked her to explain how the process sort of developed, and because it's quite a unique set of paintings. And when she explained that she buys a ticket on her phone, and then she always requests a window seat forward facing. And then she takes pictures from the train window on her phone. And then she gets home and she looks at them and she does a sketch from them. And then the painting's created. I just thought the process was really, you know, fundamental to the whole thing, really. And I felt the process was just really intriguing, and that should be revealed within the project. So from the very beginning, the cover shows the windows of the train and the way the camera sits into it. And we made a special effort within the introduction to show that process. And the last part of the process was then the writers coming in. And then I guess I had a little bit of a hand in how I laid out the writing within the book. So it just went through these multiple processes, which is really nice.
Well, I think it'd be lovely to have little films that describe my poems, just very short films, and I'd like to narrate over those. And it would be nice to have an audio book.
I would like to create a book that illustrates and explains the different ways in which artists and designers reinterpret what they see. So from the book cover for Carolyn's book, the way in which the camera becomes part of the window structure of the train, I'm thinking about all the objects in the world, all the things that we see, the everyday things that we want to naturally reinterpret and see as other shapes and other forms. So how we look and sometimes see faces in things, and how we reinterpret random objects. I think, you know, when you look at Carolyn's pictures, they're not typically the kind of content that people would normally associate with paintings. And I think she's focusing on the everyday scenes that you see from the windows, and they're like entry points into your mind. I think that's why it works so well with the writers, because they were trigger points for narrative, weren't they? All your collective memories and emotions and ideas.
Yeah, that's true, Jeffrey. And also the fact that there's no people in there, but I could imagine the people. I could imagine the people that have been on those platforms or looked from the bridges, and you can then delve into their worlds in your own imagination. You can imagine what their life was about. You can imagine why they were stood there. You can imagine why they were, what journey they were going on, and who were they going to see. Why were they going to see them? Was it important? Was it for leisure? There are all kinds of ways you can look at it, you know.
What I would ideally like is to have some kind of railway space, station space, initially, where there could be an exhibition of the paintings, the voiceovers that Natasha's talking about. I think an area that's devoted to the graphics, which could be moving graphics, and taking you through like a little video of the process that Jeffrey was talking about, and really finding a way of engaging people when they've got moments of time.